Welcome back to Thundersport GP at Mallory Park. It's GP Racing Dream, the Aprilia Super Teens, and Steve's on the grid.
Number 20, Tom Oliver, pole position for the second Aprilia Super Teen race here at Mallory Park. A nice cool breeze running through the circuit now. Still waiting on second position, but here Ben Luxton will be looking for that 25 points to try and push him up to second overall in the championship. If we just come through here, James, you can see we've got a full grid of 12 to 18-year-olds ready to rumble on this Mallory Park circuit. I've got a funny feeling, Robin, that the lap record might just go here.
Yes, Steve, thanks for that. We have 3 of the Nitro newcomers in the top 5 positions after qualifying. Fantastic performances by those absolutely new to circuit racing this year as the red lights go out. A good start by Ben Luxton, but equally good. Oh, look at Joe Francis there, just nipping across the red crash out onto the inside line there, Steve. But an equally good start by Tom Oliver, running around the outside of Gerrard's.
Yeah, just seeing shots there of Alistair Davis getting beaten up also, but Ben Luxton really has impressed me off the line. Tom Oliver, once again, very clean. Ryan Vickers, unfortunately, swallowed up again, but he will have learned from this weekend, and hopefully he can get practicing on those starts. So there's Ryan Longshaw, number 10, just ahead of Deus, and that's David Allingham in the all-red leathers, but at the front, number 9, Ben Luxton leads from 75, Bradley Jones, and Tom Oliver there, number 20, championship leader, up to second maybe. Ooh, tight through there.
Yes, you're going to have to wait and see what pops out behind the bus stop chicane. Here they come. Ben Luxton it is. Tom Oliver second is ahead of Brad Jones, and then Joe Francis, Alistair Dares having got up ahead there of Ryan Longshaw. Field streaming through. It's been a fantastic half year, as it were. We're about halfway through the season now. It's been a fantastic first half of the year for Tom Oliver. But as you were saying earlier, Steve, one of the keys to that is that so far he's finished every race. So important when you're working towards a championship.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think any other rider out on the circuit would take that. But look at these lot, though, going into Edwinas. Ben Luxton, oh, if he doesn't know that there's 3 riders hot on his tail, he will do shortly. Tom Oliver weaving all over the place there. Number 20 in second position. And Joe Francis joining in the fun just behind Brad Jones, number 75 also. Speaking to Chrissy Rouse, last year's champion, and Wayne Ryan a few days ago, they've said they've been watching this on the box, and they can't pick a champion this year. They think it's one of the most fascinating series. So good to see some ex-champions still tuning in and watching a class that they were once the head of.
Yeah, almost more impossible to choose a champion is to choose a winner of this race, because these 4 absolutely on it. And there we see Ben Luxton just being overhauled once again by Tom Oliver. Gets up the inside on the run into Gerrard's.
Yes, and look at Joe Francis around the outside of 2 of them. He's gone past Brad Jones, and is he going to get Ben Luxton also? He certainly got the drive. Great manoeuvre there from Tom Oliver to go into the lead, and Joe Francis up to 3rd position. He won't quite make it up in the second. Oh, and Brad Jones there having a sit-up again through the chicane. Oh, massive moment. How did he keep that up?
It's the super glue. Well done, Brad. Stays on board, but obviously a lot of ground to make up there. Well, Brad can do it. He actually had the fastest lap of the race that we saw earlier, but he's got a lot of work to do if he's going to chase down these leading 3 in this one. Tom Oliver, the champion, number 20, leads it then from Ben Luxton and Joe Francis.
Yeah, there you see shots of Joe Francis with the purple wheels, a newcomer for this year. A little bit further back, the likes of Harry Coomber, Louis Dawson, David Allingham also doing quite well, but we can't take our eyes off this scrap at the front. Ben Luxton pulls out of the slipstream, doesn't realise that Joe Francis is up the inside also into Gerrard.
Yes, door open, a crack, and through he goes. Just one moment's inattention there. Gets snaffled. There's Alistair Dares working hard as usual. He's in 6th place at the moment. And Alistair, well, we've seen him run at the front. We've seen him lead a lot of laps so far this year. But Mallory, well, he picks up a place, then moves up into 5th place. Mallory Park, though, not being quite as kind to him. And it looks like he's then, having made that place, he's going to promptly lose it.
Yeah, Ross Twyman moves up a spot once more. Bradley Jones then is next for Ross Twyman, but Alistair Davis fancies another look. This battle a little bit further back for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Harry Coomber, number 61, good to have him back up into the top 10. The leaders coming up to a couple of back markers there. There's Leanne, they're just going to try and go around the outside of her. And, well, not the most ideal place to see a load of bikes coming round, but they make their way safely past. And at the front, let's see, Tom Oliver there, got a good gap on Joe Francis now.
Yep, he's suddenly just squeaked it, hasn't he? He's not actually got the fastest lap at the moment, but he just seems to pick them. And that was a little time gained as in going past the slower riders. But look how Joe Francis has nailed it back now. Oliver and Francis, the two of them in it for the win, as Ben Luxton just seems to have had a poor time over that lap and slips back. And, well, I have to say, Joe Francis doesn't seem to be worried about that chattering anymore, Steve.
No, I think he's realised that despite it chattering, it's going to stick through there anyway. The front end's not going to wash out. So he's got his eyes currently fixated on the rear end there of Tom Oliver, and he wants to try and get that victory. They're side by side as they go across the line and into Gerrard's. Francis surely. Yep, Joe Francis takes the lead then of this second Aprilia Super Teen race. Oh, Tom Oliver, oh no!
Hand in air, what?
Oh, it's the first, not surely, it's the first DNF of the season for Tom Oliver. What a way to go out. It's a mechanical retirement.
What on earth, because he was absolutely flying, but you're quite right. Well, it's cried enough, and that leaves Joe Francis in the lead, and what an extraordinary day. The first non-finish of the year for the championship leader, Tom Oliver.
It's a shame, really. You know, he's raced so well, and for the first non-finish to come out of a mechanical retirement, really unfortunate. It did look like it maybe was biting just on the exit of Gerrard's. I don't know whether it's seized, and he's very quick and clever to react and realise that he can pull the clutch in and just retire. But either way, it's left Joe Francis here with almost an easy 25 points, although a little bit further behind, some sterling work from Ross Twyman. He's come up from 4th or 5th position to really catch up with Joe Francis here.
Well, yes, he just set the fastest lap of the race as well. So, yep, Tom Oliver disappears, and they all fancy a piece of this. I'm wondering, Joe Francis may not be aware yet how close Ross is. And look, number 15, Ross Twyman in 2nd place. He's just got enough race left to take the win if he can, and I'm sure now that Joe Francis will be aware he's there. You hear him buzzing in his ears, Steve.
Yes, and likewise, Ross Twyman also chattering front end into Shaw's hairpin. So as they make their way onto the start-finish straight, it is Joe Francis that starts the final lap with Ross Twyman just behind, Ben Luxton 3rd and number 75, Brad Jones in 4th.
And they're all closing, and yet again another fastest lap from Ross Twyman. There he is, number 15 in 2nd place. But Joe Francis, just 13 years old, the leading Nitro newcomer. I know he's thrown his bib away, but we still know this is his first ever season of racing on proper grown-up circuits. And he's been a race winner already. He knows how to do the job, but what he doesn't know is perched on his shoulder, really going for it, is Ross Twyman.
Oh, a lovely sweeping line into the chicane from Ross Twyman then. It gave him all the drive, and now he's made it out to look up the inside into Shaw's hairpin, but he's just run a little bit wide. Oh, he's going to get it.
Oh, no. It cost him, because Joe Francis had back at him at the exit of the bus stop. The checker flag is being hung out to dry, and there, Joe Francis takes a well-deserved win from a charging Ross Twyman. Ben Luxton getting across to finish in 3rd place. What a great chase there at the end, Steve. Well, a surprise result, of course, because no Tom Oliver, but Joe Francis, the win from Ross Twyman, Ben Luxton. Brad Jones was 4th, Harry Coomber 5th, Louis Dawson 6th, David Allingham 7th, Ryan Longshore 8th, Max Simmons 9th, and Milo Ward 10th. And there we see a very happy Joe Francis, Ross Twyman, and Ben Luxton on the podium. And of course, that will change the championship standings. It won't change Tom Oliver up the top, but they close in. Joe Francis a bit closer in 2nd, then Ben Luxton 3rd from Ross Twyman, Brad Jones, and Harry Coomber. That's the top 6 in the points overall. And with the Nitro newcomers, well, Joe Francis, of course, wins that as well from David Allingham and Ryan Longshore. And in the Nitro newcomer points, Joe stretching his advantage from David Allingham, Ryan Longshore 3rd, Alex Baker 4th, Milo Ward with that top 10 finish, getting up into 5th place ahead of George Stanley.
3rd place, Ben Luxton, 4 podiums for the weekend. That's a good chunk of points for you.
Yeah, that's really good. I'll definitely take that. Moving up in the championship, and hopefully, yeah, it'll be good for the rest of the rounds.
So a bit more consistency now, ready for the next round at Snetterton. How do you fancy your chances there?
Yeah, definitely try and get on the top step this time and then see what goes on.
Anyone to thank?
Yeah, David, high five my grandma and granddad, my 2 mechanics, Si and Colin, and my mum and dad for helping me out.
Well done to you, Ben. We'll move on to second place, Ross Twyman. Ross, first visit to the podium this weekend, but it's been hard work out there. Very hot as well.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend, and well, except for Saturday, but yeah, today's made up for it, and it's been really good.
And anyone to thank at all, Ross?
Yeah, Brown & Mason Demolition, Jim Brazier, Wellvent, and Canterbury Distant Acting Club, and my dad.
Well done to you. We move on now to race winner Joe Francis. Joe, I know Tom Oliver fell out of that race. First time he's not finished a race this season, and that's excellent news for you as far as points are concerned, and you got yourself the maximum here, 25.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Tom, but I will take the win because I need to catch him up in the championship. But at the end of the race, I thought Tom was still there going into a Shaw's hairpin. Then Ross just come by me and just outbraked himself a bit, so I just got him back up round the bus stop.
And plenty of people to thank in the Moat Track Racing team.
Yeah, Steve and Matty for building me an amazing bike. So many roads, direct distribution, Fab Racing, Trevor Baker and Graham Lond, because without all them I wouldn't be here.
Well, big well done, and we'll see you at the next round.
Thank you.
That's it from a gloriously hot Mallory Park for GP Racing Dream. From myself, Robin Murphy, and from Steve Day, we'll be back with you for the next action after the Snetterton 300.